Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Okay, in lesson 3 I showed you, I explained to you about the C major scale. I showed you the piano keys and I made some examples. I even played the C major scale on the piano, and we even learned how to solfege or sing the C major scale. Now today I want to give you a more detailed explanation of the major scale in itself. As we all know, C major scale is the very first major scale that we study. So there are other major scales. In fact, there are 12 major scales, depending on, if you look at the piano keys, you start with the C, and then there's a C sharp or D flat major scale, and then there's a D major scale, E major scale, F major scale, G major scale, so on and so forth. So most of the students will end up telling me, oh, we were asked to memorize the key signature for each scale. Now, what is a key signature? Well, when you look at a music score, sometimes at the side of the score here, you will see the accidentals written by the side of the score. Either you can see flats or you can see sharps. Sorry, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, so on and so forth. So this at the side of the score, on the left side of the score, you call that a key or signature. Yeah, it's actually SIGNATURE, so key signature. So as the word signature means, it tells the player, it tells the musician that this song is in a particular key. So if there are, say for example, you see a clef, okay, and there's a 1 sharp there, then it tells you that this score is in the treble clef, yeah, and it has 1 sharp meaning that it is in the key of G major or E minor. Yeah, we'll get to that soon. And then you will have an indication of this number here, which is what you call the time signature. It basically tells you that the score is in 4/4. Okay, there are various time signatures. There are 3/4, there's 2/4, there's 6/8, there's 25/100, there's 35/36. These two jokes, huh? Okay. Okay, let's get back to the C major scale, shall we? Now, throughout my lessons, you will always see me referring back to the C major scale. That's why I told you in my IG post that the C major scale is the mother of all scales. And today I will show to you how the mother gives birth to the other major scales. Okay, now look at the C major scale. Now I've written the notes, and this is in treble clef, by the way. Okay, so this is the C, this is the middle C on the piano. Okay, the notes are up there. Okay, so C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay, now the C major scale, okay, can be or is made out of two separate scales. Yeah, this is the C major tetrachord. We call it a tetrachord. And this is the G major tetrachord. Look up in the dictionary or music dictionary what tetrachord means, but to my understanding it's basically just the first 4 notes of each scale. Yeah, basic understanding is that. Okay? So if you do not want to use the word tetrachord, it's totally fine. You just say that the C major scale is made up of the first 4 notes of the C major scale and the first 4 notes of the G major scale. So therefore C major plus G major okay, so 4 notes of the C major and 4 notes of the G major makes the C major scale. Okay, now let's take the 4 notes of the G major scale. Now let's take this to here. Let's take the first 4 notes of the G major scale down. Okay, let me draw the G major scale. G, A, B, C. Okay, I'll draw a line. Okay, what naturally comes after C? Okay, so D, E, wait for it, F, G. Now, at this point, you have to remember the formula of the major scale. What is the formula of the major scale? Refer to my IG lessons. Okay, so the major scale, 3, 4, 7, 8 equals half step. Okay, the rest, one tone or one step. So, look at this scale again. Okay, so G, A, B, C. Okay, so this is 3 and 4, right? Is that a half step? Look at the piano keys. B and C naturally is a half step, so you've established a half step there, right? Okay, C, D, D, E, F, G. Okay, so the 7 and 8 has to be a half step, but look at the notes here. Is the F and G a half step now? It's not a half step. So what do? Okay, we have to raise one of these notes, right? Yeah, but you obviously can't raise the G because the G is already an octave of that. Okay, so what do? You raise the F, becomes an F sharp. How do you double check whether it's right or not? Okay, so we've established 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. No problem here. Okay, 4 and 5, this is 1. Remember I told you 3 and 4, 7 and 8, half step. 3, 4, 7, 8, half step. The rest are all whole steps. Okay, so C and D, refer to the piano keys. Is it one step? Yes, it is one step. D and E, is it one step? Yes, it is one step. E and F sharp, is that one step? Look at the piano keys. It is one step. So F sharp and G, that's your half step. So ladies and gentlemen, you get a G scale with one sharp. This is therefore the G major scale. So the G major scale, okay, I'll draw it. So the G major scale has one sharp. Now let's expand this further. So the G major scale consists of 2 scales. The first 4 notes of the G major scale and the first 4 notes of what scale? The first 4 notes of the D major scale. Now, same process, take the first 4 notes of the D major scale and put it here. Okay, so establish this first. So we have D, E, F sharp, G, split the line. Okay, A, okay, naturally comes after G is A, B, C, D. Wait for it. 3, 4, 7, 8. Okay, now 1, 2, 3, and 4. 3 and 4, 7 and 8. F sharp and G established already here, it's half step. Right. Now, G, A, that's one step. A, B, that's one step. B and C, is that a half step or a whole step? Look at the piano keys. B and C would be a half step. This needs to be one step. So, what do? We raise the C to a C sharp. Then, how do we check? How do we confirm that it is right? C sharp to D, is it a half step? It is a half step. So, you have discovered the D major scale, which consists of 2 sharps, F sharp, C sharp. Okay, now let's move on. Moving on, take the second half of the D major scale, or before that, so the D major scale consists of the first 4 notes of the D major scale and the first 4 notes of the A major scale. Okay, so we bring the first four notes of the A major scale down here. Okay, so let's start with A. You can start with this A or the A underneath, it's fine. Okay, A, B, C sharp, D. Okay, draw that line. E, wait for it, F, G, A. Draw the notes first. Don't worry about the accidentals. Just draw the note first. Establish where the half steps are. Okay, and you already know the rest will be a whole step. So, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is already established before. All you have to establish is this. Okay, now D and E should be one step. E and F. Look at the piano keys. Is E and F one step or half step? Okay, E and F is a half step. This should be one step. So what do? You can't change the E. If you change the E, then it will affect this distance here. So you have to change the F. You raise the F to become an F sharp. Okay, so you've established the F sharp, right? And F sharp to G, through this note, the G note has to be 1. But is F sharp to G a half step or a whole step? Look at the piano again. F sharp and G is a half step. So what do? You raise the G to become a G sharp. How do you check? G sharp and A is a half step because it's the 7th and 8th note of the major scale. Have you established a half step there? You have. So now, ladies and gentlemen, you have established one more sharp. So you have the F sharp, you have the C sharp, and you have the G sharp, which makes it the A major scale. Now, notice that. Notice how the key signature, these are key signatures, notice how the key signatures have been arranged. This is how you arrange the key signature, following this concept of what we call, this whole idea, we call it the cycle of fifth. Okay, as you start expanding that cycle of fifth, yeah, from the last example that we made on A major, and then when you've established that the A major consists of 2 tetrachords, meaning the first 4 notes of the A major, and then the first 4 notes of the E major, and then you expand it to the E major, yes, and then from the E major you expand it on, it becomes the B major, and then the B major you expand it on, yeah, you build up the B major scale, and then you get the F sharp major scale. Yeah, so this is the cycle of fifth. What does it mean by the cycle of fifth? Okay, look again. Let me show you again. Okay, what does it mean by the cycle of fifth? C major scale. We started with the C major scale, right? Now, C, D, E, F, G. That's a fifth, right? Okay, and then G to the D major scale, G, A, B, C, D, another fifth. Okay, D to A, D, E, F, G, A. Get the A major scale. And then another fifth from A is the E. So A, B, C, D, E. And then E, F, G, A, B. And then B, C, D, E, F sharp. And why not F? Why F sharp? Well, it's a perfect fifth. I'll get that. We'll learn about that later. Okay, but this is what the cycle of fifth means. Now, as you've run out of sharps, as you can see at the F sharp major scale, everything is sharpened, everything is raised already. Yeah, from nothing on the C major scale to nearly everything. How many sharps is that? 6 sharps. So what happens after F sharp major? Yeah, remember this concept of enharmonic spelling? Can hear the helicopter. Remember that concept of enharmonic spelling? So F sharp, the F sharp is also known as G flat. Ugh, that's an ugly G. G flat. Okay, so if we look at the G flat major scale, so all we have to do now is to change all these notes to its enharmonic spelling. Okay, so let me try and draw this so that you can see. So I'll draw a line. Okay, so F sharp is a G flat. Ugh. Okay, and then G sharp is an A flat. A sharp is a B flat. What am I doing? Yeah, sorry about that. Okay. B in harmonic spelling is a C flat, C flat. Okay, C sharp will be a D flat. D sharp will be an E flat. E sharp will be an F, and G sharp, F sharp will be a G flat. And you've established the G flat major scale. Okay, so now how do you arrange the notes? Well, if it's in the flat keys, it starts with the B flat. Yeah, I'll show you why later. Okay, so it's B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, and the C flat. Yeah, I'll show you why later, but for now, this is how you establish the G flat major scale. Okay, now what is a fifth from G flat? Okay, the same idea. Yeah, so the G flat major scale consists of two tetrachords, G flat and then D flat. Yeah, so we'll draw the D flat scale here. Okay, so D flat, E flat, F, G flat. Okay, draw that line and then just draw the notes first. Continue on with the continue on with the half steps, so 3, 4, 7 and 8 notes, half step. So establish that this is 1, 1, 1. Okay, now G flat to A, is that a half step or a whole step? That is that's a half step. So you lower the A to become an A flat. Sorry, a G flat and A natural. That's quite far. No. Yeah, correct. G flat and A natural, that's a bit too far, isn't it? If it's a G flat to A, okay, that's quite far. So what do you have to do to make it nearer? So you have to bring the A down a step so that it becomes A flat. Similarly, A flat to B natural, okay, should be one step, but now it's a bit too far. It's a 1.5 step right now from A flat to B natural. So you bring the B down, right? B flat to C, okay, that's naturally, sorry, this one should be a D flat, okay. B flat to C, that's naturally one step, and then C to D flat, that's a half step. Okay, then you get the D flat major scale. Okay, what happens from then on? From D flat, then you get the A flat major scale. So from D flat, you get the A flat major scale. Okay, so the D flat major scale, you have the B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat. And then from the D flat major scale, you get the A flat major scale, okay, which consists of B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat. And then from the A flat major scale, you go a fifth from there, A, B, C, D, E flat. E flat major scale. Using the same formula, the same ideas, okay, so you have B flat, E flat, A flat, and then from the E flat major scale, moving down a fifth, I'll turn to the new page, okay. Okay, so from E flat major, a fifth of that would be E flat, would be B flat. Okay, E flat to B flat major. Okay, so B flat major is B flat and E flat. From the B flat major, you move down a fifth, you move up a fifth, from B flat to F. Yeah, yeah. So F major, you only have the B flat, and then from F, where do you end up? On the cycle of fifth, it ends up to the C major scale again. So that completes the cycle of fifth. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is a comprehensive, a more holistic look at how the major scale is constructed and how the rest of the major scale is discovered from the C major scale itself. We now know that every one of the scales, starting from the C major scale, it contains two tetrachords. The first four tetrachord meaning the first four notes of each scale. So the C major scale contains the first four notes of the C major scale, C, D, E, F, combined with the first four notes of the G major scale. So C, D, E, F being in the C major scale, and then G, A, B, C. Then, from then on, we discovered the G major scale, yes, being the combination of two tetrachords, G major and the D major scale. And from then on, using the formula of the major scale 3, 4, and 7, 8 half steps, we discovered all these accidentals. We discovered one sharp in the G major scale, and then from then on, in the D major scale, we discovered two sharps. Yeah, F sharp, we discovered the C sharp, and then from the F sharp and C sharp, we then discovered the G sharp, so on and so forth, until the G flat, or until the F sharp major scale. And then, because there are already too many sharps, yeah, but the cycle needs to go on, then we changed it to flats. So we use the enharmonic spelling and use the concept of flats. So the F sharp major scale is always, sometimes depends on the type of music, depends on the composer, depends on the writer. Sometimes one prefers to read in F sharp, sometimes one prefers to read in G flat. For me, I think I prefer G flat. Anyways, so from the F sharp or G flat major scale, moving up a fifth, then you discover the D flat major scale. Then you discover the A flat, E flat, B flat, F major scale, and finally it completes the circle, it comes back to the C. Now, I mentioned earlier that in flat keys, yeah, we start with the B flat, we start with one flat. This is the reason why. Yeah. When you look at C to G and to D and A and E and B, the sharps are arranged in the cycle of fifth. Now, if we are arranging key signatures in flat keys, we move to the left. Yeah, this is the cycle of fifth. Yeah, the cycle of fifth is still like that, no problems. But in flat keys, arranging the flat keys, it is arranged in fourth. So one flat, okay, it starts from C and then it moves to the first flat key with one flat, which is F. So that's one B flat. And then you move down the fourth, so F, G, A, B flat. Yeah, a perfect fourth from F is a B flat. Yeah, we are getting to intervals very, very shortly, yeah, in our next lessons, yeah. So F to B flat is a fourth, B flat to E flat is a fourth, E flat to A flat is a fourth, A flat to D flat is another fourth. Yeah, so that is how you arrange flat keys. Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, we now understand, yeah, the whole concept of the major scale, starting from the C major scale. Thanks for watching, guys. Hey guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Meanwhile, please like my video, please subscribe to my channel, and happy learning. Take care.